So here we are, Manifestation Mondays with Marcy again. I'm here to, of course, talk about a very important subject, and that is what is the number one, the most devastating, the most villainous, the most energy sucking, the most surefire sabotage that you can possibly draw to you that will sabotage your happiness, your success, your fulfillment, your peace, your joy. In other words, anything that you really want to experience in your life, you can be sure that it will rob you of it. So you might be asking, wait a second, if this is so huge, so powerful, so all encompassing, and such a surefire way for me to sabotage what I'm trying to create, why do I not know this? Why have we not discussed this before? Well, the reason for that is that in truth, we have discussed it before. But what we know is that it has so many disguises that we have to make certain that we are tuning in to the energies so that we can discern it regardless of how it's disguised. So today I want to talk about how it's disguised as drama. Drama, you say? I don't have any drama in my life. Well, that makes me laugh because, of course, we all have drama, don't we? In fact, sometimes it seems like we just go from one drama to the next and the next and the next. And what happens in that drama? Well, we know that sometimes we might get a little excited. Sometimes we sort of stand back and say, oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. There might even be some sense of, well, this story is one I've seen over and over and over again. And it was just a matter of time before all of that fell apart and we were going to see this again. But drama may also bring up some envy. It may bring up some anxiety. It might bring up some depression. It might bring up destruction of relationships, whether it's professional or romantic or familial, relationships in your family. Drama has a way of robbing us of our peace, our clarity, but it robs us of something else. Can you think about what that might be? It robs you of your spiritual stability. It robs you of your ability to actually navigate through life from the stance of being a creative. So, what we know is that drama is always about reaction, right? Without it being a reactive process, there would be no drama. But because we are in this mode of um, reaction after reaction, and it stimulates very often emotions that are connected to our very own past experiences. We get all revved up, don't we? And we might even start to be the vampire energy that's feeding off of it, in addition to the energy that we are projecting and feeding into it. So when you get caught up in drama, there is absolutely nothing good that can come out of it. Because as I said, you're either feeding it or being fed from it if you are reacting to it. So, what do we do? How do we avoid these drama traps? Well, number one, we have to remind ourselves that that's exactly what it is. It's a trap. So, where do the traps come from? Well, they don't come from your higher self. Your higher self would never trap you. So, what part is trapping you? It can only come from your ego. So, when we find ourselves getting caught up in these dramas, the first thing that we need to do is remind ourselves that this is the work of the ego. And it's so clever. It always disguises it about somebody else, right? We stand in the sidelines and watch these dramas unfold. But what happens when it can't catch you or trap you in that way? It actually starts to produce all of these distractions in your own life that also have an effect. And before you know it, you find yourself getting sucked into your own dramas. That's when you can really feel that hook, and it's hellbent on taking you down. So, how do we avoid it? Well, we start to dissect it a bit because we want to understand what it is that is the mechanism at work here. Is it just that we get joy out of watching other people squirm and suffer? I don't think so. Although there might be some of that, if that is what you're connected to. But for the most part, it's there because it serves us. It serves us as a distraction. It takes the heat off of us. And it gives us another focal point for us to put all of our energy so that we don't have to look at ourselves. And this, of course, is the real crux of it all, because whether that drama is outside of you or the drama is inside of you, the effects are the same. It is distracting you from you. And what we know is that your power lies in you, in your own awareness of you, your ability to observe who you are in any given moment and say, maybe I can bring more of myself, the greater parts of myself, to this situation and create a change. Because that, by the way, is always what healthy change demands of us, that we bring more of ourselves, our true selves, the higher self. So, what could that energy be that starts all this trouble, all of that drama? What could it be that the ego has used to suck us in? Is it that misery loves company? Hmm. Is it perhaps instead this fear that we have that we're not enough? And so rather than risk the exposure of that, we look for any way possible to avoid looking at it ourselves. In which case, if we are seeing ourselves as not enough, ready for the mic drop, we are in full judgment. Judgment of ourselves to the point where we are sabotaging every effort, every possibility, every probability, every potential to create something better in our lives. Because in that judgment, we are creating an enormous gap between where we are and, of course, the truth of who we are or what we are. So I'm just going to leave that with you. You can trust that we'll come back to this subject. But I want you to have this so you can chew on it for a bit and start to develop your own awareness. Pay attention to how you're feeling, what you're being drawn into, and being drawn into whether it's outside of you or inside of you. So I'll also leave you with this affirmation: I am spiritually stable. I know who I am. I am the divine light incarnate. That's right. You're living the life of the light, for the light, and by the light. I am spiritually stable. Yes. So repeat that, of course, in the morning when you wake up and before you go to sleep at night. Let it marinate all night long. And when you wake up in the morning, you will know yourself differently. You will feel it. And of course, what you will attract to you will be different as well. So much love to you. I'll see you again next week for Manifestation Mondays with Marcy. And until then, remember, I am spiritually stable. And you will be. Have a great one. Bye bye now.